Okay, just hit the record button. We are here for the weekly kvCORE strategy webinar here at Inside Real Estate. I hope all you guys can hear me. I hope my audio is good. If it's not, please tell me right now. And we have a lot to cover today. The topic is promoting and leveraging open houses with kvCORE. And there's I have a lot to do on the dock here. Now, first thing I'll say, I say this every week, a couple of things, is that the recordings of these webinars are always posted to insiderealestate.com/strategy. And they're also posted to our strategy Facebook group. You can get the Facebook group at insiderealestate.com/Facebook group, and we'll let you in quickly. And then the strategies page looks like this right here. And on this page, you can get the link. You can send this page to your coworkers if you want. They can get the link to register for this series. And also, you can get all the kvCORE strategies webinars replays, as well as all of our YouTube videos. And I'll ask you right now, if you don't mind, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. We don't only post webinars there, we post all kinds of tips and how-tos and just news to the YouTube channel. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to that as well, so that your kids will get our new videos while they're watching Fortnite videos. All right, so let's go now. The topic is promoting and leveraging open houses with kvCORE. I've kind of broken this down into a few sections. We're going to do promoting your open house first, and then we're going to talk a little bit about at the open house, capturing and converting leads with the open house tool, the Core Open House app. And then we're going to look a little bit, hopefully I have enough time for this, at open houses as a niche or hook that you can kind of run your whole business around and do lead generation around in general, where your kind of main hook is, hey, access the current list of open houses, and then you send everybody in your market a weekly list of open houses. And I think that's a very simple kind of niche to have. It's around a property search, doesn't require much thought, and it's very easy to deliver that content. So let's jump in now, and we're going to jump right into promoting an open house. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the easy button. I'm going to get into some pretty sophisticated stuff here. I should say that these webinars do tend to be advanced. I say this every week. If you're just getting started with kvCORE, some of the stuff I do might be a little disorienting, talk a little fast, a little bit geeky, but for the basics, do go to the Agent Success Plan inside of kvCORE in the dashboard. You can go to the learning portal and do that first, and just know that this might get a little advanced as we go. So the easy button now for open houses is going to be to go, if I have an open house, and I have an example one for today, I can go find the listing inside of the listings tab in kvCORE, which we have up on the screen. So I've typed in 10113 Paradise. And what I can do is I can check this off and click right up top. I can click Boost Property, and this will bring you to our Property Boost marketplace product that allows you to run Facebook ads for your listings. And for anybody who's not familiar, what this does is it puts an ad in Facebook, and then it pops up a form inside of Facebook that pre-fills the name, email, and cell number of the lead right there. So the open house option is going to be up top here. You see I toggle this right there. And what I can do is I can select the open house time. I actually might get stuck doing this one. It's 3 hours long. Oh my goodness. I asked the broker here at Forever Florida, I said, do you have any open houses I can use for this demo today? She's like, no, not really. And she's like, I'll try to get somebody to do this one. I was like, I'll do it if you need me to. But it turned out it was like 3 hours. So I'm really regretting that. Who does a 3-hour open house, man? Anyway, you can put the time in right there. You can add a second date if you want. I'll have to pick 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. I think that's the 15th. And then you click submit, and this will run a nice ad on Facebook. And part of the reason you don't want to do this is not only to kind of generate direct buyer leads around the listing, that name, email, cell number, but it's also going to just get exposure for the listing and get more people to show up. So definitely going to want to do this. You can pick the 3-day option right there and get it. And as long as you're, 3 days ahead, today would be a good day. If I order it today, it'll go live overnight tonight, and it'll run Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or if you know well ahead of time, you can do 1 week or longer. So that's kind of the easy button, quick exposure for your open house. As with all property boosters, will also send an optional email to your sellers to let them know about the activity. After you order, you can enter an email to let them know about the impressions and the lead counts and all that. So that's the easy button. Now, if you want to do some of this on your own and drive traffic to your open house from other sources, that's what I'm going to do next. So definitely order your open house property boost for the easy way. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig into some more of the nitty gritty features in kvCORE that will allow you to create marketing funnels around your open houses. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I don't see any questions yet. That's cool. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build a squeeze link for this open house, for the actual property. And this is basically just going to be a link that I can send visitors to learn about the property. So let's go back into kvCORE. I'm going to go to the address. I think I can actually click straight through here. And you'll see right here, I can, from the property page, get a direct link. So I don't even need to go to the lead engine and build a squeeze link if I don't want to. If I just want a quick link to use to promote, I have one right here. I am, however, going to go to the lead engine because that opens up some other features depending on where I'm going to be driving traffic from that I might want to use. So I clicked on lead engine. I'm going to go to IDX squeeze page, click start building. And I'm going to go to single property up in the tabs up here. So multi-property, single property. And then let's say I know I'm going to be running a Facebook ad. That's what I'm going to show you guys first. We always go to Facebook first because it's quick. And then my hashtag, I could just be paradise listing or something. I'm pretty sure you can't start with a number. So you might do P100113 paradise. Is what I'll do. That's what I usually do for properties because you can't start a hashtag with a number. I would do it like that. Creates my hashtag. My listing ID, I'm going to need the MLS number. That's right up here. Put that in. And this is the additional feature I want to show you. Depending on where I'm going to be advertising this, I might decide that, hey, I don't really want to generate leads around this open house as I promote it. I just want to get exposure. In that case, I'm probably not going to require people to register on my site. Or I may want to use it as bait, and I do want to generate a lot of leads, so I would leave it at number 2 or number 1. This sets the number of views that are allowed on the site before somebody has to register. I'm going to go ahead and set it a little higher. I'll set it up to 3. Okay. Then I'm going to click generate link. And now I've got a link that will tell me the source of the lead right up here, and it'll set my registration. Now, one thing I'd like to point out, this might be small on your screen, I'll make it a little bigger, is that inside, this is kind of just a little extra tip, is that all the links here have parameters in them. That's little add signs and things like that. You can see right there, the view timing is set to 3. So I can change that on the fly. And also right here, my source and my hashtag are in the link. So you can change those manually without having to go into this tool every time if you don't want to. So do that, clear out my drawing, and we'll continue on. So I've got my link, and I'm going to go to Facebook and just run a really quick ad for this listing. I feel like we're in Facebook every week. I wonder, everybody, you want to see me run the Facebook ad? I've done it kind of last 2 or 3, or should I skip to a different source like Google Display? Anyone? I'll do it really quick, but not too detailed. So we'll just jump into Facebook, get the link. I'm going to open up my Facebook ads account. Okay, Toby. So he says, yeah, do the Facebook. Let's do it. So I'm going to click create. Just a warning, my audio goes out sometimes when working in the Facebook Ads Manager. It's a big resource hog. I have a good computer, but for whatever reason, webinars and Facebook ads don't mix. So bear with me. The audio will be good on the replay if we have any issues. What I'm going to choose just to get exposure for this listing is I'm going to go really quick. I'm just going to do a traffic ad as my type of ad. I'm going to go 10. The address of the open house. So already forgetting Paradise, right? Paradise open. I'm going to set a lifetime budget instead of a daily budget because I'm only going to be running this up till the date of the open house. So we'll say we'll spend $50 on this thing. Okay. Show advanced options. I show the advanced options and then run ads on a schedule. I actually haven't run a date-based ad, so I'm getting a little stumped here. It might be on the next screen where I set my date. So I'm going to click continue. Dory has a question. How can I create a business account? I'll show you in a minute, but where you do that is you just go to ads.google.com, and all YouTube ads are run from the Google Ads Manager. So, yep, you don't need a business account. Okay, so now I'm in the next screen here. Yeah, the dates are down here. That's just me not having done this in a long time. So if I scroll to the bottom, you'll see I can say, hey, stop running this ad on Sunday, at about the time of the open house. And I think this is all Pacific Standard Time, where it used to be. No, it's in Eastern now, so it'll be in your time. And then I'll scroll back up, and let's start setting up some of my options. Now, one thing we need to do with all real estate ads is we need to go to this special ad category right up here. Facebook kind of skipped me past it, and we need to choose housing, or they're going to deny our ad. So click continue. I can enlarge screen a little bit, like this. Maybe that'll help, Tammy. Okay, so there we go. And then I'm going to choose my area is going to be St. Petersburg, Florida, not Russia like I did last week and made it live for a couple of days. That was nice. And then 15 miles around. Now we're stuck. We have to do it at least 15 miles around with Facebook's new rules about 6 months ago, a year ago. But it still works. The ads tend to find the right audience. Include people who match. I'm going to leave interests out and just kind of let this run and tell the whole universe about my open house. And it looks like my date didn't take. There we go. Continue. And then I'm going to need to give it an image or a video. First, I'll put the website URL in down here because it's kind of asking me for it. So that's the squeeze link we just created. I might get lucky and it might give me a good preview. If I want, I can just use the preview that the site found, or I can do another image. For the purposes of this webinar, because I have a lot to get to, I'm going to leave that image. But I would definitely advise, if you want to take an extra minute, do a video introducing the listing and inviting people to your open house. That's gonna get you better reply. Or do an ad with multiple images if you can. So I'm gonna leave it like that. And then my text, I'm gonna keep very simple. Open house this weekend. Open house Sunday, 12 to 3 p.m. Join us, something like that. And then when they click through, they'll see the details of the property. And one of the reasons why this ad is likely to get a high click-through rate is that we don't have the price on it right there. All right, so they're gonna be like, how much is that? And if I had really good pictures, they'd be curious about the price. So you will get good clicks, and if somebody who is actually looking or one of the neighbors sees this ad, they're very likely to click and maybe show up for the open house. So basically, we hit confirm, and just like that, we can start getting Facebook traffic to know that we have an open house this Sunday. Now, the difference between the type of ad that I just ran and our property boost, again, is that this will send a click directly over to the website to see the details about the property. So if I go to the link right here, then they'll be able to see the information about the property. And if they keep scrolling around my site, they'll be required to register, in this case, after 3 views. And again, as I said, if I just kind of want exposure and people know the open house is happening, I might relax my registration or I might not. With Property Boost, what will happen is it'll require them to register their name, email, phone number inside of Facebook. So there are some advantages there. You're going to get the cell number every time. So do it yourself. You can do it like this, or you can use Property Boost. You can also do lead ads yourself the way that we do with Property Boost by choosing a lead generation objective. But that's a little more advanced. We have some content about that in the learning portal. There's a Facebook ads class where I kind of show you how to do that there. So let me Get rid of the wife at the bottom there. Okay. So that's kind of the quick nitty gritty. Run a Facebook ad for your listing, get people to know about the open house. Okay, let's look back at our doc here. And I'd like to show you how to do a quick Google display ad with the same, using the same link. And actually, I've been thinking a lot lately, testing this a little. Google display will actually let you get a little more narrower with your targeting than what Facebook does. You don't have to do the 15 miles around. We can go into Google and actually show the ad to people who are in that very zip code, and actually can do it within a mile radius inside of Google display. So I'll get to your questions, everybody. Yes, this will be sent via email, and then the special ad category is in the campaigns section of the Facebook ad. I might have done that a little quick, but they always kind of skip over it when you run the ad, but it's up here at the top left. You kind of have to go back there and click it. All right, so now let's go into Google. I'm just going to bring open my Google account I don't want to show all the stats and of all the campaigns we're running and stuff like that. So I'm just going to open that up in a new window. Just bear with me, guys. And I'll bring it into focus here. And as I was saying, Google doesn't have that location restriction that Facebook has. So for the purposes of open houses, I actually really like Google these days because you can pinpoint the targeting. So I'm picking the account, and then I'll show you this on the screen. And again, Google Ads may slow down our audio and is also a resource hog. I don't know what's up with these ad platforms if they slow down everybody's computers. All right, so I'm going to go now, and I'm going to go to campaigns. Inside of Google Ads, again, it's just Google Ads. Google will make it easy for you to set up an account. I'm going to click Add a New Campaign. I usually just leave this blank. You can kind of just do what I do when you watch the replay here. Hit display. And you may or may not see this smart display option. I'm going to pick standard, but I've had pretty good success lately with smart display for whatever reason. I think it may be for advanced accounts, but do give that a try if you happen to see it. It just kind of does the campaign setup a little quicker and easier. But I'm going to do the standard full walkthrough. Click continue. And yes, I'm using a Google business account. Again, it's Google Ads, Toby. So that's where I am. And Google Ads is where you can run Google Display. You can run Google Search. So if somebody's searching St. Petersburg condos, they'll find it. And you can also do YouTube video ads inside of Google's ad account too. So my campaign name, I'm going to do 10. I'll just name it the open house. Paradise open house. And then I can do my locations. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to enter another location. And I don't remember the zip code. So just give me a second here. I'm going to find the zip code of this property. It's not my listing. So there we go. And I think that's a key point with all this too. This isn't my listing, but I'm sure you can find a listing agent. If you're thinking to yourself, I don't have any listings open, I'm sure you can find your broker or somebody who's willing to let you do all this stuff for their listing or their open house, let you sit there open. So definitely an option for everybody. Went and hit on me here. That's great. I'm going to pop that zip code, like so. Now, you can see this advanced search option. This is where if I really wanted to, I could actually enter an address and then do a mile around it. All right, so I just want to show you guys that. Pretty sure I can enter the address, or I may. Paradise 57. Did this recently. Put my house in. I know you can do it. Oh, there we go. The radius. I had to pick radius, guys. Sorry. you see how I picked radius up top here in the blue? There we go. And there you see right here, I wanted to show you this because if you're doing an open house, you could do within a mile right there. So I'll get rid of this 20 miles around noise and you can do a mile. Now I'm going to leave it here in the whole postal code because in this case that works out nicely. It's going to show it to everybody on the beach in St. Pete Beach. That's kind of who I want to see it. So I'm going to let it run in that zip code. Thanks, Thomas. Thomas says, I know it must be so frustrating, guys. You're sitting on the webinar watching the dude not click the right thing, and it's like right in front of your face. So thank you for the feedback. All right. So target, and then be careful here. It says people in or show interest in your targeted locations, people in or regularly in, or people who show interest in. Definitely pick one of these top two. This will come into play. You just have to kind of think about it when running ads, what you want to see. But I'm fine with people who are on vacation down here, you know, seeing this, or maybe they're out in, you know, Pennsylvania freezing their butts off and they're searching. So I'm just going to leave it to the top one. Okay, my bidding, I'm not going to choose, I'm just going to go viewable impressions because really I just want everybody in the area to know there's an open house. So I'm going to do it based on getting impressions, not generating leads. I'm going to set my budget to $5 a day. And then my audiences, if I want, I can choose, I can get a little narrower and say real estate. And Facebook has, Google has all these kind of in-market audiences. So it'll only show to people who are kind of searching in-market residential and real estate. So you might have an idea that they're tuned into real estate. Or I could just leave this blank and say, hey, just show it to everybody who's in the area, like that. So 2 options there. There are some other options. You can do some demographic targeting right here. Just keep in mind that Google, this can really slow your campaign down, especially if you try picking the income I've found. Maybe I'll get rid of these young kids. They're not buying $1 million houses. But if you get too restrictive here, your campaign won't show the ad much at all. Okay. And then targeted expansion, added reach. This is Google trying to get some money out of you. I would start this with off. And now I'm going to create my ads. So I'm going to click create. And I'm going to use the responsive display ad option. And then my final URL is going to be that same link that I just had up, right? Our link to the squeeze. But what I'll do is I'll change my PPC equals my source and make that Google. You could use the squeeze builder as I did in the beginning, but I know how to kind of hack up these URLs. So I'm going to do that here. Set my timing to 1. And then add hashtag. It's the same. So I'm going to do G display as my source. So I know it came from a Google display ad. And then we'll pop that in as my final URL. So you can kind of see how kvCORE is going to let me know that if I got a lead from this and it came from Google, it's going to say G display as my source. And if it's Facebook, it's going to say Facebook. Okay. Now we're going to do images and logos. So this is fun. And yes, it did what I hoped it would. Google will search the URL you feed it for images, and look how easy they make that on us. And it makes life so easy. So I can come in here and say, hey, this is my image. I want to use that one, kind of like this one. And what they'll do is they'll just kind of start spinning this up. Like they'll show a bunch of different variations, and they'll build the creative for me on the fly. The other one I wanted to do, I think I had recently used, you probably are going to want to get your logo in there. So I had already gotten my logo in the past. So I'm going to just grab that. It was already in the Google library. But you might want to upload it. And there was also the option in there to upload images as well. It was right there in case you have to grab the ones you want. So you'll see right here, it's kind of showing in the right side. It's previewing the ad, and you'll see it kind of just scrolls through and shows different variations. And we'll just do open house, Sunday, 3:15, 12 to 3 p.m., like that. And then my headline, I'll make that my long headline too. And then I'm going to put the address right here on the next line. So just do a little thinking here. They're always going to show the headline or a long headline. I think if you kind of have to have one of each. And then my description is going to be 100013 Paradise Boulevard in Treasure Island. So I'll just kind of grab the whole address like this. And then the business name is, and you know, it's really drives me nuts. Your business name can't be more than 25 characters. I'm just going to do Forever Florida RE, but that makes no sense because a lot of business names are longer than that. But as you can see, that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm going to click Create Campaign. It's asking me for my ad group bid. I always do this with CPA. I think we're going to be fine if you set this. You can play with the number. If I put this to $10, it says average CPM is 4 to 6. So I'll put it to $5. CPM is cost per 1,000 impressions. So right there. And I think we are good. Like that. I made it a little bigger, guys, but this is, you can maybe zoom in where you are. I don't know. All right. So we're going to click Create Campaign. And just like that, I have a kind of ad on Google's Display Network. I might have not explained to you guys what Google's Display Network is, but basically what it is if I go to millions of sites around the web, Google allows people, website owners, to paste a little snippet of AdSense code, they call it, onto their website, and they share the revenue of the ads. So I went to this Zero Hedge site because I know that they have a lot of Google ads on it. And you can see like this Amazon ad, these ads in the side, a lot of times the ads in the body of the articles will be Google ads. So your open house advertisement is going to show to all those people in that zip code, whatever area you targeted on, as they go around the web, and they're just going to be reminded that there's an open house. And we actually offer this as a service on the retargeting front. We have a Google Display retargeting service, and that's what that is, except it just shows your picture and your name, sort of like just a branded ad. In this case, we're doing it for an open house. I'm going to click Continue. I'll show you guys what the ads look like really quick. But if you drill into the ad options, I always get confused here, guys. 1 second. There's a way to bring up a preview of all the ads. I think I might have to pick on the actual picture. Yeah, you have to click on the actual picture of the ad. And you can see Google's bots just kind of spin it. And what it'll do over time is it'll show the ones that get clicked more often. So open house, Sunday through Friday, blah, blah, blah. And this one, I noticed, doesn't have the address in it, but that's okay. People are going to be like, where's the open house? And they're going to click through, and it should click on over to your website. Just like that. Now, one word of caution with this. I like to go back after you create the ad. I noticed this. I've noticed this a lot, but my son likes to play a lot of games on my app. So I'll be sitting at the diner Sunday morning, and I'll see my own ads, and I'll see him clicking on the ad to get it out of his way. He's trying to hit some ball in some game or something. One thing you might want to think about, there is a way to get rid of mobile phones. If you want to take the ads off of mobile, that might be a good thing to do. And there's also a way to get the ads off of Google, of apps specifically. And it is complicated. I always have to Google it. But if you Google how to not show Google display ads, to not show Google display ads on mobile apps, there's a bunch of articles about how to do this. And maybe I'll do a special training myself, an article or something about it. But they're just something to consider. If you're just doing this quick and you just want a lot of exposure, you want to be able to tell your seller, hey, I ran a Google display ad, we got 10,000 impressions, awesome. Then just don't worry about that. But I just want to bring it up in case you're doing a lot of Google display that you might want to filter out those ads. Okay, so that was kind of our second kind of way to get exposure for the open house property link. Now, if I wanted to run a YouTube ad for the open house, I would, of course, have to make a video really quickly. And I've probably shown this on these webinars a lot. I might just do something like bring up my Screencast-O-Matic is the tool I use for recording video to record my screen. You could use Loom, you know, any or Camtasia, whatever you want. And I might come in here really quickly. If I want to get really fancy, I could have my face on the screen. Oops, I gotta switch the webcam I'm using. There you go. All right, and then hit continue. I'm in my bus office, so it's doom and gloomy, but I just want to show you. Hey, are you doing anything this Sunday from 12 to 3 p.m.? Come join me at this awesome open house, 10113 Paradise Boulevard in Treasure Island, Florida. $1 million, $999,000. This thing is really cool. If you click over to the website down below, you can see all the pictures, but what you see on the screen here is the nice view at night. If you're not doing anything, join me out in Treasure Island for this weekend's open house. And then what I can do, I'll hit done, save and upload. And I can quickly just upload that to YouTube. So I'll just do 10.3, publish. So I realize, guys, I moved a little fast there. It's going to take a minute. It's going to upload to YouTube. But once you have it as a YouTube video, you could also have gone to the property and stood outside the front door and, you know, did a little more polished than what I did. What I'm focused on right now is just showing you how to get the ad live in the ad network. But you can definitely get very targeted exposure and do great things for your brand if people are constantly seeing your face and your name attached to real estate on those YouTube skip this ad videos and then Facebook videos. So I made a quick video. All I did was screencast my kvCORE website, the page for the property. I'm copying the link here. And while I'm still in my Google Ads dashboard, go back to all campaigns to the home screen. And I'm going to run kind of get back to a page where I have this little plus sign. And now I'll do the same thing I just did for display, but for video. So we'll do no. And I'm going to choose the video option. I'm going to just leave it as custom video campaign, the first option. Continue. Channel 3. Paradise. Campaign total. We'll do $20 or whatever from now till the 15th. And as you're watching me do all this, guys, keep in mind, think about what this might do for your listing presentation. If you're able to say, hey, I'm going to do an open house, but not only am I going to do an open house, but I'm going to run an ad, you know, here, 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 and here, so that we get tons of exposure, in addition to all the signs that I'm going to put out in the yard and all the kind of, you know, standard stuff. So here we go. This is also going to do great things for you as other homeowners in the market see that you're running ads like this. You know, they're going to think, oh, that guy's everywhere, you know, and is a sophisticated marketer. So locations, do the same thing again. Enter another location, 33706. Target, standard inventory. I can leave most of this the same. I'm going to leave the demographics wide open, but if you only want to show this again to not kids, you can do that. And then it's pretty easy on the creative side. Once you've made your video, you can just paste your YouTube video in like this. Choose the first skippable in-stream ad. This is the kind of, when you're watching YouTube, it says skip this video. You guys have all seen that. That's what this is. And then we're going to put our URL in right here. And again, I'm just going to change my source to YouTube like that. And I realize it's really small in the browser. You can go back and build the squeeze link again right here and change the source to YouTube. Up top, click generate link there. this back. So my final URL. And just like that, you can see there's a call to action box. I'm going to check that. I'm going to say open house, get details, something like that. So before somebody watches a video on Facebook, they're going to see my crazy mug right there telling them to come join me for an open house. And in my CPV bid, again, I think that's cost per view bid. 20 cents should be just fine. You can put it to 30 cents, but it tells you over here, you know, you can get a bunch of impressions and a bunch of views. Great campaign. We don't have, somebody's asking if we have a service that will do this on Google Display Ad for open houses. We don't have it yet, but we are thinking about adding that, a one-off for a listing. It is something we're thinking about doing. We just don't have it yet. Okay, and just like that, I'll have the ad live. Now, just a word, I just did a really quick, dirty video. I would have usually maybe put my I could put my green screen behind me or go stand outside somewhere where there's more light. This video may get turned down from YouTube. They do review the videos, and they could turn it down and say, hey, it's not high quality enough. So just keep that in mind when you're doing them. And also keep in mind, it can take a day or so, or even a little bit longer. I've seen it go a day and a half or so before they approve a video ad. So if you're trying to do this Saturday for Sunday open house, it might not work out that great. And I think that might have to do with how many of these you're running. If it's the first one you do, but if you're spending a lot of money and doing a lot of them, they tend to approve them a little quicker. Somebody's asking, did you do a YouTube squeeze page? That was fast. I didn't do a different squeeze page. I just used the same link that I was using for my other ads. So for my Facebook and my Google AdSense ad, I just used the same link, but I changed the source in my squeeze to YouTube. And then I just used that link. Right there. Somebody asked, are the videos showing how to do each of these separately slower? No, but I could take this replay, cut out these sections, and show this. Or if you go to YouTube, you can slow me down. You can go at the bottom right, you can click on the gear right here and do playback speed slower. There's also tons of free content. You know, it's these sessions, it's more about the strategy and the theory, how to run an actual Google or a YouTube or display ad. There's tons of videos and documentation online and text that'll show you how to do it. What I'm hoping you guys take away is that, hey, when I have an open house, I can now do this whole promotional basket of stuff to get a lot of exposure and also, you know, show off for my seller and get myself exposure too. Craigslist ad, I'm going to skip that. I think we all know how to run a Craigslist ad. I didn't prepare and I've never run a marketplace ad, but you might be able to run a marketplace ad for an open house. If anybody who's listening has done that, let me know or comment below in the YouTube if you're watching the replay there. I did want to mention two other sources offline for your open house and do a quick kind of demo of what that might look like. One is the postcard or letter invite. We have thanks.io, which, full disclosure, I'm a co-founder of in the marketplace of kvCORE. And I can show you really quickly what a campaign and thanks, if you wanted to send people postcards, the neighbors, inviting them to the open house, it could be a really good way to get neighbors showing up, you know, other people who might list with you. So if I go into thanks.io here, I can quickly design. I'm going to choose the design with Canva option. And choose one of these options right here and get rid of the other stuff. I didn't want to make this about kind of design so much, so I'm going to go quick. Open house, 12 to 3 p.m. Treasure Island. Oop. Paradise Treasure Island. And then what I can do is I can take a picture of the property and pop it in here. Okay, so um, without overthinking the design again, go here, that. Just needed to save the image. I'll go here to uploads, upload an image. So okay. And I don't want to get, I could have just uploaded this straight as the postcard design. But for the purposes of the demo, I'm not going to actually send this card. I'm just going to click Save Postcard. I think you guys get the point. If I spend another 5 minutes, I can make that look nice and clean. But I can go here. It kind of loads up a postcard design. Here's the postcard body, so I can say, hi, if you're not busy. How about this? Hi, we'll be doing an open house at our listing at 10113 Paradise. Treasure Island. Make this bigger. This Sunday from 12 to 3. If you know anyone who might be interested, tell them stop by. Thanks, Ryan. P.S. I forgot the main thing that I wanted to do here. For more details about the property, text, I wanted to show you guys how to use the direct mail to do a text reply code. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the link to the property right here. I'm going to go into kvCORE, and I'm going to go to the lead engine and create a text response code. I'm going to go to call capture, add new, and I can put the actual MLS ID in. Forgot I could do that. So let's just do that. Grab the MLS ID. Okay, and I believe that will reply back. Oh, right. So the custom code is 10113 Paradise. Add. And then if somebody texts that, I believe it replies back with the link to the property details. P10113. I could have added a hashtag. And you know what, just to be safe, I'm going to put the whole link in there to the property. And that's just me forgetting that functionality. If somebody from inside's watching this, is that right? If they text the hashtag, the MLS ID, will that work? Just to be sure, I'm going to put, hi, here's that link. Right, thanks, Susan. I thought so. All right. And she says, don't use both because that'll break it. So don't do both. So one or the other. So I can just put the ID, the MLS ID, and it will. Okay. And the reason I wanted that is now I want to be able to say, hey, in my postcard or any of my offline advertising, I'm just using the thanks postcard as an example here. Text to, and then my smart number. So the number it tells you over here to text to. And best practice here would have been to make that text code a lot bigger in the actual design of the card as well. So this. And I can choose my handwritten font if I want to change it up. That. Continue. Save and continue. And now what I can do is I can just draw. Go to the address like this. And I can say, hey, send this to all the neighbors. Like that. So bigger area. Oops. Big, right? Save and continue. And just like that, I can get an open house invite out in the mail. One thing here, of course, is you want to make sure it's going to take, I would say 4 to 6 business days. It's going to take 6 to 7 calendar days to be safe before it reaches the door. So you're going to want to know you're doing the open house a week ahead of time. I wouldn't send it today for this Sunday, but I might mail it today for the following week. So this requires a little bit of planning. But the key takeaway is if I would have put a big call to action, see more price and picks, and gave them this text response code, I can generate cell phone leads because people are going to text them to get their cell phone. I can follow up right there. In addition to, of course, having people get a postcard and a reminder that they can walk down the street and come and meet me at the open house. The question is, do you know if this is applicable in Canada? It is, Tammy. If you mean the postcard part, it does work in Canada. The pricing is just a little different on the cards. So that's an example. You don't have to use Thanks.io. We have it in the marketplace. There are lots of different platforms that will allow you to do this. But in your marketing mix for advertising your listing, the key takeaway would be add print. There's not a lot of competition in the physical mailbox. This is kind of a nice coupon. Put your face on it if you want. It helps build your brand. And then, of course, use the text response code to generate leads on the fly because people are going to want to see inside pictures of the house. And I probably should have been a little clearer and stronger with my call to action. Said, hey, to see the price, the asking price, and pictures on the inside, do this, and been a little more specific. So that's that. And then newspaper ads. It kills me every time I'm sitting at the diner, and you have like the local newspaper here. It's like the Gulfport Gabber, and agents are running newspaper ads. So let's just see, real estate newspaper ad. Maybe we can get an example on Google. They run ads, and they'll do like the whole. Your office might do this, right? Okay, I think this is a pretty good example. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so you'll have like this grid, and it'll have like this weekend's open houses. But there's no call to action. It's usually just a picture of the property and the time of the open house. So what I would argue is that while people are bored sipping their coffee at the diner, reading the local paper, or they're at home doing that, put a text code that says, see inside now, text 1013 Paradise to here. And if you can do it, I know the laws are different everywhere, but if you can do the ad without the price of the property, do that. You might have to do it, to be in compliance. But kind of just, hey, to see more pictures, text here for here, and you're generating cell number leads. The person's waiting for their eggs to come. The waitress is taking too long, and they're bored, and they're just going to text it, and you're going to generate cell number leads right there. So I would make a case that print is still a viable way, especially with open houses. And of course, it's going to get you more traffic through the open house because people are bored sometimes on Sunday, especially when football's not going, and might stop by. So, yeah, that's print. Okay. So, wow, it's been 50 minutes, guys. I'm going to keep you a little longer today if you don't mind. If you need to leave, I'll get you the replay, but we still have a little bit more to run through here. All right. So I think that basket that I just said that's a pretty good open house promotion. And if you have an assistant or a VA, they could probably pull that off for each open house. They're not going to be maybe not as quick as me, but they could do it for open house in an hour, right? They can run through all those steps and get that done, I think. And really, you'll have a kind of platform that you'll be able to talk about in your listing presentations, and as well have a platform that's driving a lot of traffic to your kvCORE site and generating leads. Now, next thing I'll just mention is that we do have the open house tool. I'll show that very quickly. I've gone ahead and downloaded bluestacks.com in order to be able to show the open house app on my computer. Just a tip for those of you who don't have a tablet or a good sign-in, you can actually get an Android emulator like BlueStacks and then go to the Google Play Store and download the app. And then when people come to your open house, you can have your laptop open like I do right now. Joe, the replay will be at insiderealestate.com/strategy and in the Facebook group, but we'll probably email it out as well. So here we go. I kind of started beforehand. I got the app open. I popped in the address. I'm going to confirm that that's the address. I can choose what options I want to display. I'll ask for the phone number, but I won't require it. Are you currently working with a real estate agent? Where did you hear about this open house? So it'll ask those questions. Hit next. It says choose image. I'll select that one. I'd probably rather have a different one. Put the listing price, beds in the bath, square footage. Next. I'll put a hashtag, so that'll be P10113 Paradise. Hashtag preview and launch. And I give it a pin. Launch. So now I have a nice sign up form that I can have people fill out at my open house. And the main thing to know here is that you can not only collect leads and it'll feel really professional, you know, there, but you can also trigger follow-ups. You can also trigger follow-ups via kvCORE smart campaigns based on that hashtag. So you can have an open house follow-up that automatically happens on the back end. So that's the open house app. Don't forget to set that up. I have done webinars about 2 weeks ago. We did a detailed smart campaign webinar. So I'm going to reference that for setting up a smart campaign. We're getting a little crunched for time, but just know, a good follow-up would be, hey, thanks for coming to the open house yesterday. You can send an automated text message or an email. Just curious what you thought of the property, something like that. So that's that. I have a bonus idea here. It's one of my favorite ideas. Is the back of your open house flyer. I have an example. It's really ugly. I call this the ugly backside of the open house. But you could, don't forget to put some calls to action on the backside, and kvCORE's text codes are the perfect thing to do there. So what I've done is I've created capture text codes that will send a list of all the open houses to this number. So they're walking through to look at all the text open houses to instantly get a list of all the open houses in this weekend. Save this link so you can see all open houses every week. I have a kind of text foreclosures so they can see a foreclosure list. We know that that's kind of a good hook. If somebody texts that, you're going to get their cell number, right? And then text money to this number if you need a mortgage at the lowest rate possible. So get your mortgage guy involved. Let him put his text code in there and maybe reply back with his application form or a webinar that he did or something like that, or she did. And then I did a little extra to have people kind of friend me on Facebook. And then a little tip, take a picture of this now for future reference. So you could, the big takeaway is you can either staple this to whatever flyer you have for the open house or print it on the backside and capture more cell number leads, especially from those people who are like, nah, dude, I ain't signing into your open house. They give you a hard time about it. You can think in the back of your head, all right, just take the flyer knowing that you have a good chance of getting them on the back end because they're going to want this interesting info. So just a little bonus tip there. And then finally, I'm going to talk a few minutes. Maybe we won't run too late. But just talk a few minutes about running with the open house angle as your niche, as the main lead capture offer that you make in all your advertising. So you could buy a domain name like stpeteopenhouses.com, TampaFloridaOpenHouses.com, or something like that. And I've seen some agents do this. You could run billboard ads. You can have it running in the newspaper. You can run Facebook, Google, all the things I kind of just showed you. But instead of advertising a specific open house, you'll be giving away the list of this week's open houses. So here's what the landing page might look like. And it's very easy to do. We go into kvCORE, go to Lead Engine, pick a landing page, pick the site here. Can you guys hear my dog? She's outside crying. Give me 1 second. Come on. She always needs to be 3 feet away. All right. She's walked out of the bus. All right. So the ad might look like this. Free weekly list of St. Pete, Florida open houses. Delivered every Saturday morning or whatever it might be. Now you can manually send a list, or you can set up automated alerts that tell people about the open houses. I might build a smart campaign that just sends the open house list every 7 days from when they opt in, or delivered weekly, something like that. And I'll get rid of this. My hashtag is open houses. My submit button test and see the open house list now. And then my URL after login is really just going to be the search on my site. So I can run the search here, take a squeeze link for it. I'll just do the whole county to be fast. Options, open house, down at the bottom, generate link. And then I will just take people. That's my redirect link right here that I'm setting up at the top. I'm not going to require the phone. I don't think it makes sense to require the phone, but you can if you want. They're just going to give you fake phone numbers. There, save. Okay. So just like that, I've created a URL. And if I want, I can go to GoDaddy and buy, again, stpeteopenhouses.com and forward to my landing page URL. And now on the back of my business cards, you know, and all the advertising I do, all I'm doing is just giving away this free week list of St. Pete, Florida open houses. And what I like about this particular hook of this niche is that even people who aren't actively in the market to buy, like my wife, every weekend, she looks at the open houses, and we go to a lot. You know, people are real estate curious. It's fun to just go and see, you know, what's for sale and walk around houses and do your own private tour. So anybody at any time in your market might opt in for this list. And what's cool is that they're going to get the open house list, and what they're going to do is they're going to pass around your links to their friends. They're going to say, hey, the house down the street for you is for sale. Check this out. It's open today, you know, to their friend or their mom or whatever. So I really like this as just a kind of lean in to build your database. It's not going to always generate a very high, you know, a very high intent lead right away. But if you're building a database for the long term and you're going to have hundreds of people getting your open houses automatically, I really like this. And the way to make it super easy to follow up, if you really want to make it brain dead, is you can just go to Marketing Autopilot. You can go to Search Alerts. And you can say, hey, anytime that hashtag comes in, and I've already done this once here, so anytime somebody comes in with that hashtag, open house list or open house, send them all the open houses. And I have it set here to daily. You can do twice weekly, once weekly. I might do twice weekly, like that. So did I pick open house as the type? Options. Yeah, I did. I picked it up here, the open house type. So I can click update alert. So full funnel I just built right there, right? Landing page, somebody opts in, they're going to start getting automated replies with open houses. You might send an automatic text or an email that says, hey, I saw you opted in for my open house list. Are you looking for anything, any specific type of open house, any specific neighborhood? And then you can drill down their criteria. And then just use all of the same kind of methods I just showed you to get traffic to that page instead of to a single open house. All right, and then we're going to add it. We're going to finish up today. By the way, I really think billboards, if you have the budget, could be awesome for this. And then, you know, YouTube videos, I would just invest, since you're going to use this, you can do one ad, produce a really nice video, try to make it funny if you can, right? And just invite people to come to get your open house list. I think it could do really well on YouTube. So Zeitgeist, Spirit of the Age, what's going on right now? Joe, the president of Inside Real Estate, slacked me this morning. He's like, hey, we should come up with a way to do virtual open houses, and I called it here virus-free open houses. And I didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this, but just a thought. It could be something that we all want to think about doing, and it would be very easy to do. What are you going to do? You could do a Facebook Live, right? You just could do it with your phone. You go live on Facebook, and just show the open house. How might you advertise this? I think it's pretty straightforward. We'll go right back to our landing page generator again. We could have a little fun with it if you want. It might go a little viral, pardon the pun, viral. So we'll go virus-free open house this Sunday, 123 Main Street. Join us on a Facebook Live this Sunday at noon for a tour of 10-0-113, you know, right? So, Paradise. And then remember the background, you can actually put an image of the property in the background by putting the MLS in there. I always forget that feature. So here, let me just take a second to do that, show you what it looks like. So I would grab my MLS number. And I got to tell, I think this particular listing, I'm going to tell the listing agent. I'm not sure that the water's doing them a lot of justice. Maybe the inside would be better. Maybe it is. Huh. Oh, there we go. I put it in the wrong box, but you can see it kind of shows up right there. Join us on Facebook Live this Sunday at noon for a tour of 1013 Paradise. You could also create a Facebook event for this as well. You could do that too, and maybe just redirect them to the event or just send the traffic straight to the event. Okay, we're hitting the top of the hour. What's everybody think? Any feedback here? Are you going to implement some of these ideas? Greg's saying posting on Craigslist is pretty straightforward, but it would be nice to hear what strategy is working best these days. Greg, I think it's been a while since I've done a full Craigslist webinar, so I think in the next few weeks I'll try to do that. Where I always go with that is, using the text codes in the body of the ad and using images with the text codes inside of them. But I haven't personally done a lot. I need to test that again to see how well it's working. Text codes in marketplace ads might also work really well too. Does our brokerage have branded card designs? Kevin, not in Thanks.io. I don't think we have too many brokerage branded designs, but the team over there can help you design one. It's really easy to do. We'll send the replay out. Does BlueStacks work on Mac computers? I don't know, Bruce, but I'm sure Macs have an Android emulator. What you're looking for is an Google like Android emulator or Google Apps on my Mac or something. The replay, guys, will be at insiderealestate.com/strategy. It'll probably take a few hours to render, and I'll get it live by about 7 or 8 p.m. East tonight. And I'll let you know in the Facebook group. Good question. My company only has one smart number for all agents. Can I create an open house text code that actually takes clients to my landing page? Yeah, if you create the text code, the leads are all going to come back to you. So whatever text code you create, it will come back to you. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you for all the questions. I will email out the replay tomorrow morning, okay, to everybody. But the really, what I'd like for everybody to do, if you like content like this and you're enjoying what we're doing here, insiderealestate.com/Facebook group, all of this stuff, all these strategies, all these webinars, all these videos, the announcements about them are all posted there. So definitely sign up for that. Click the notifications so you're notified about all posts in the group. And that's a great place to stay tuned in. That's usually the first place I'm going to post a replay of this, and then I'll email it after. So. Okay, thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday at 2 p.m. East. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.